Hello, this is Mary from Growing Puppies, and I wanted to make a video today to show you the different options that you have for potty trays when you take your puppy home. And I'm hoping to give you some information so you can make the best choice for your living situation. So what you see here, these are my 7-week Schnoodle puppies, and this is their very large pen. I've enlarged it every week. And every few days probably as they get older. We have a bed in the corner and some Ugodog Potty trays around with their food and water, and a little tray there to catch kibble that gets knocked over. And then we have a little crate here that they like to sleep inside, though they have been coming out here because I've been out near their pen, so they're out here playing. And then in the corner I have this rabbit tray, and so we're going to refer to both of these as Puppy Potties, but whether you choose the potty tray, the plastic potty tray, or the rabbit tray is really what the purpose of this video is about. So if you have a smaller apartment space, then this little the smaller potty tray might be better for you, just because it doesn't take up as much space. And what I have here, I have pee pads underneath each potty tray, and they do go pee pee on it, but pretty much they are not using these potty trays to go poo poo. Instead they're doing poo poo in the rabbit tray, and that's because they like the litter. The smell of the litter attracts them, and they go pee pee and poo poo here, but sometimes because their bladders are still very weak, they don't make it to the rabbit tray in time, and so they'll just use the potty tray. So that's why, as I say, I have pee pads, but they don't use them that often, so luckily I don't have to clean these pee pads, the potty trays, the plastic ones, very often, because if they did go poo poo on these potty trays, it's a lot harder to wash them because the poop can get stuck in the grates, especially when you have like 6 puppies running around in this pen playing, and if one puppy goes potty, they would step on it and it gets stuck in there, and then I have to wash them. And that's kind of hard in the winter because I can't take them out to the hose, to the woods and stuff. But that's really why I've become very reliant on these rabbit trays, because it's so much easier to pick up their poop in a bunch of pine pellets. And so I just go around when I see that they've used the potty in here. I'll take one of those plastic bags that you use for picking up after your dog on walks, and I'll just turn it inside out and pick up whatever little pieces of poop I find in there, and then it helps keep the litter tray much cleaner. And then of course when the puppies go pee pee, you can see that a few spots here where the lighter color where they've gone pee pee, and that when the pee pee hits the pine pellets, it turns it to sawdust. So you can tell when the tray needs to be dumped outside, just because the sawdust starts to be more a lot more of it. So when I clean this out, you could dump it in a big trash bag, but and I did that for a little while when I didn't have so many pellets in here. But right now I go dump them in the woods because I have a spot there, and they are biodegradable, of course, because we have pine trees out there. So they're just going back to nature, and so that's what I do in the winter. Is I just dump the pellets out in the woods when I have a big tray like this, and then I'll start fresh. And I do that every day because I have 6 puppies in here, but you probably would not need to do that every day if you picked up after the puppies. If you took a bag and took their poo-poos out, they would probably last, I would think, several days, because one puppy does not make that much of a mess. So anyway, you have to just gauge that for yourself. So yeah, so let me first, let's talk about the 2 options you have. There's this one here is the Ugodog tray, and they don't sell it anymore. This one measures 29 by 16, and I'll write down in the description. But you'll want to choose another type. They have all different varieties on Amazon. I have linked to 2 different potty trays on my website, and yeah, it's up to you what you like best. I haven't used all of them, so I can't really tell you. But you could sprinkle these pine pellets underneath the grate to give them the smell, and that with the grate they won't get knocked around the floor, which is good when you don't have the right space to deal with that. But the advantage of the rabbit tray is that the puppies have that feeling of pine pellets under their feet, which is what they are used to. They are used to walking around in the pine pellets when they need to go poop. And that's, you know, they're creatures of habit. So if you have the space to put a 24-inch rabbit tray with pine pellets in your pen, then I would recommend you use a 6-panel pen instead of a 4-panel pen, because you do need more space for that. They will definitely use it. And I would use this rabbit tray for the first month in their pen, and then I might get a second one and put it by the back door, and when they stop using the one inside their pen, then I would probably put the one from the pen outside in this potty spot outside where they're supposed to go potty. So what are these pine pellets? Let me just tell you real quick that this tray here, this rabbit tray, is inside a bigger rabbit tray. There's 2 here. The big one is 36 by 30, and then the smaller one is 24-inch square. And I put the small tray inside of the big tray because, as you see, little bits of pine pellets do get knocked out of the pen when the puppies run around in here. And so what will happen if you don't have it, you don't have to have the big pen there, the big tray. It's just, you know, you'll just have to go with a broom and kind of wipe up around it. So definitely I wouldn't use this on the rug. That would kind of be messy. I would use it, you know, it's better if you have a space in your kitchen or something like that. If you put a whelping pad, see this brown pad that I have underneath there, that you can put that underneath and it'll help catch some of these pine pellets as well. So anyway, you have to sort of figure out what will work best for you, but I do really love this because they definitely use it. And I have to talk to you though about the litter. You can use pine pellets. That's what I've used here, and I buy them at Tractor Supply, and the bag is 40 pounds and costs $6.50. This is horse bedding. That's what its original use is. And it's really great because it's not only absorbent of the moisture, it also naturally neutralizes odors, so you don't have any stink. It doesn't smell stinky. It doesn't smell like poop and pee, which is wonderful. Nobody wants to smell that in their house. So this is really great. Some people use alfalfa pellets. I've never used those. I don't see my puppies eating these pellets, but that's why some people recommend alfalfa pellets, because if they eat them, they feel like, you know, it's more, alfalfa is safer for them to eat. However, even if they did ingest one of these little pine pellets, it's going to pass right through their system because it's just sawdust, and that's very easy to pass through as long as they had a lot of water. But I've not seen my puppies eating these. I always have food in the pen for them, so they're not super duper hungry. They have lots of food, and so they're not tempted to eat this. And again, as I say, I have all kinds of other things for them to chew on. I don't see them chewing on it. So, but that's why you cannot use cat litter. Do not, I repeat, do not use cat litter, because if a puppy happened to ingest a piece of cat litter, that is a clay-based litter, and it will clump in their system and cause a blockage in their intestines. And you don't want something like that. Your puppy could have a very serious problem. So I've never used cat litter for my puppies. And I do know that they sell dog litter on the market. I think it's newspaper based, and I don't have experience with that. This is just very inexpensive and works very well. And if you want to try that and you're monitoring your puppy to make sure that he's not eating it and all that, then that's probably fine too, though probably more expensive. So anyway, these puppies are just wiped out. They've been playing and running around, and so they're all sleeping right now. So you can't have the advantage of seeing them play, unfortunately. You know, I just want to talk too about how you would use this. You know, after the first 3 days your puppy has been home and he's gotten used to his pen, you'll start your puppy on the schedule that I send home with you. And when it says, okay, he wakes up from his nap, the first thing you'll do is take him outside to go potty. Some days in the winter, it's going to be cold, rainy, snowy. It's not going to be pleasant weather, and it might be difficult for your puppy to use the potty outside, especially if it's raining or super cold. And so if your puppy, after your puppy's gone potty and you bring him in, he may not have finished doing what he needed to do. He may rush it just so he can come back inside. And so even in the summer, sometimes your puppy does that. So if you bring him inside, the next thing on your schedule is playtime. Now if you take your potty tray and you have it in your kitchen, oh, excuse that bird flock. Okay, yeah, that's not, I do not have a bird, it's just a bird flock. So if you have this in your kitchen where you're playing, then if you didn't finish going potty outside, you'll just go and you'll run in here and go potty. And so that'll be very helpful for you. Or if you wake up in the morning and it's time to go take your puppy outside to go potty and it is pouring rain, just bring him over to the potty tray. He'll use his potty there. Now, as he gets older, he's not going to want to go do his business in his pen close to where he sleeps or spends his time. And so in time, you will find that this potty tray is not being used in his pen. And so in that case, moving the puppy potty tray next to the back door, or having a second one that's already there, is a good idea, because then when your puppy's old enough that he's generally fairly reliable and you can let him run around in the kitchen or something, then he'll know where the potty tray is. You'll just permanently put the potty tray next to the back door. And when I say potty tray, I should be saying rabbit tray really, because we're talking about the rabbit tray right now. And then your puppy will know where it is. It's moved from his pen, and it's next to the back door. As the weather gets warmer, you can put the potty tray outside. So I would wait till spring, and then when you put it outside, if there's any question of the weather, have a tarp there to throw over top of the pen when you, not the pen, the rabbit tray when you come inside, so that if it happens to rain in between your schedule, you don't want your tray to fill up with water. That'll be a mess. Then all your pine pelts will turn to sawdust, and that'll be useless. So cover it up with a tarp when you're not using it, and then when your puppy goes to the door to go use it, it's right there, right near the door. You just pull the tarp off, and the puppy will go out. And then we're talking at this point, it's 3 months, 3.5 months after your puppy is, but it may be even 4 months. It depends on your puppy how reliable he is at not having accidents inside. But again, the longer you leave this in the house near that back door, the longer your puppy will, the more reliably your puppy will not have accidents in your house. And again, once you move it outside, you slowly, 1 week at a time or 2 to 3 days at a time, move it towards his permanent potty spot. And then you can just leave the tray or dump the tray's contents in the permanent potty spot in the yard, and he'll know where that is. And your puppy will, by 4 to 5 months, should be pretty reliable about using the potty spot in your yard. But the length of time that it takes is really individual. If your puppy is not having accidents and uses this all the time, just wait until at least 4 months before you permanently move it outside, because it's 4 months when he has bladder control. Before that time, he doesn't have bladder control. And it's improving every day. It improves a little bit as they grow, but it's not really I find like 4.5 months, my puppies are going outside on their own through the doggy door and all that, but before that, it's not super reliable. So anyway, that's how you incorporate the potty tray with your schedule. You can still take them out on schedule, but just you have an option for them if they don't finish. And then again, if on schedule the weather's bad, you can just take them to this. Or if it's nighttime and your puppy is not sleeping through the night yet, which happens in the first couple weeks, again, you can just take them to the potty tray instead of going out into the cold. So whether or not you choose this one or the smaller one is up to you. There is an advantage to them feeling the pine pellets under their feet. And so this, I think, would be more reliable. The problem is, of course, it is more messy. And so you have to take that into consideration. So, every person's home is different. Everybody has a different situation. So you have to figure out what's best for you, and maybe you'll try both. Maybe you'll use this one in their pen, and maybe you'll put this one by their back door in the kitchen. That might be a good option. So anyway, I hope that this helps you to make the best decision for yourself. And I hope that, if you have any questions, you can feel free to write your question in the comment, or you can reach out to me at my email through the Growing Puppies website, and customers certainly can call me as well. So I hope that is helpful. Have a good day, and good luck with your puppy.